people who come to Conner Prairie want to see themselves here, and so we've got to tell a more inclusive story. And I think the uniqueness of Conner Prairie is that it's never been just static. We've been more than just a living history site.
Promised Land as Proving Ground really gives Conner Prairie a new way to tell stories. We are known for our storytelling. People come to us to hear our stories. We have a wonderful battery of programs that really connects different aspects of history and helps people understand today and maybe imagine the future differently.
Promised Land as Proving Ground is a story of Black perseverance, not just in Indiana, but in America as a whole.
It is a celebratory exhibit about the contributions and cultural retentions of African Americans, and it is all about being able to tell the full story of Black and brown people who have come to this country and have made their mark.
Promised Land as Proving Ground is a way for us to tell 1,000 years of history, pre-colonial all the way to the present.
It is going to be a place where these big, not so easy conversations can happen.
Promised Land as Proving Ground bookends Prairie Town. It's integrated into Prairie Town. We didn't want it to be a segregated experience.
This story weaves its way throughout all of these time periods that we discuss.
It fits because we've always been an Indiana history museum, and this is part of Indiana history. This is part of American history.
It is all of our collective history. So it's something that we felt was very important for anyone who was visiting Prairie Town to be able to encounter this in this space.
For people who've been coming to Prairie Town for years and like the way it is and have gotten used to the way it is, this is a very big change. And we're excited to see a generation of people and a generation of kids who grew up who don't know a Prairie Town without Promised Land as Proving Ground in it.
We've had programs in the past that really just dealt with a small part of it, and they were done for a limited amount of days throughout the year. So we knew that we needed to be fully inclusive and tell that story each and every day.
It's a consistent narrative that takes you on this journey and then leaves you at the end and kind of gives you a call to action that you're a part of this story too.
Because their story continues today, and you are a part of it.
And we're talking about things that are very complex and very personal. We're talking about journeys of manumission, freeing oneself, and discovering oneself and establishing something out of nothing and putting things in the ground and seeing what would grow, quite literally. Indiana was on paper a free state. The Northwest Territory was free, but it was not free in the way that you would expect. A place where we could test the American ideals. Liberty and justice for all, what does that mean?
Sites of Conscience is dedicated to the idea that we can build a more just future by using the tools of the past. A really key element of a lot of Sites of Conscience work is bringing past to present. In other words, history is not just what happened 200 years ago or 100 years ago. History continues to happen, and to understand that all of our actions today and in the future are influenced by that history, and we can learn from that.
This is beyond just the confines of this village, as it's affected every part of our institution, from board recruitment and staff training to HR practices to our building practices, all the way into how we're engaging guests in the stories that we're going to tell.
Promised Land as Proving Ground is really the first time that we have put in what would be considered a more traditional exhibit. It's the first time that we've put technology into the Prairie Town atmosphere.
With Promised Land as Proving Ground, we have actually done research, and we have 5 historic people that we're telling their stories. So that's new for Prairie Town.
I was born in Kentucky in 1855.
In Promised Land as Proving Ground, I will be playing Flora Tidrington. She is a midwife, and so you'll get to learn about her stories and her experience and what she was able to do in her community. And that's just one of, the many compelling stories that are a part of that exhibit, but also that are a part of Indiana history. We are talking about people that actually existed. There's a responsibility to, as closely as you can with the information that you have, embody this person, because we truly felt like for those that are interacting with the exhibit, they will be interacting with that person, that they do feel like they've met Benjamin Talbot, Bishop Quinn. So I'm looking forward to what becomes of that, and also just how it continues to change the fabric and the culture of Conner Prairie, hoping that more folks will feel not only compelled but welcome to come and to see and to learn.
Promised Land as Proving Ground is not just a static exhibit, it's dynamic, it's engaging. And the programming that we have in these buildings are also very engaging. We have hands-on invitations for making different crafts, different things that are connected to what it means to be human, what it means to be part of this tapestry of history here in central Indiana. But we also engage the senses through music, through poetry, through spoken word, through food and smell, and all these things just sort of envelop a person as they come and visit. One of the most noteworthy components of Promised Land as Proving Ground is a brand new structure. And when you go into the structure that looks nothing like 1836, you will see cases that allow us as staff to use artifacts to tell stories in a meaningful way.
This is part of the democratization of history, to make sure that these collections aren't just for the elite to see, but instead we make them accessible for everyone.
And these pieces that we can display, bear witness to the stories and also help connect people to those stories in a more meaningful way.
You know, having resident artists in the reclamation building, those are all things that we've never done before at Conner Prairie in that particular way. And to be able to lace those stories, if you will, integrate them throughout Prairie Town.
Basically what I'm doing here with Conner Prairie as an artist in residency is I'm creating artwork that coincides with the exhibit in the building Promised Land as Proving Ground. For me, I'm more of an educator and I like to be taken seriously as an artist and an educator. So I'm the first artist to do this, so I'm the guinea pig, but it's based on historical moments that occurred with Black Indiana. You're going to see a lot of variety in the work, some conceptual things as well. So what I wanted to do with the work that I'm producing for this is I wanted to create a reflection of what I'm seeing through some of the historical imagery that I've ran across and some of the stories that I've heard through taking in some of the content that will be utilized with Promised Land as Proving Ground.
The evolution of Prairie Town, in both its present form, but over the last 10 or 15 years, has been about the diversification of stories. Who are we talking about at Conner Prairie? Are we just talking about the First Peoples? Are we just talking about William Conner? Are we just talking about the Quaker religion? Or can we expand that out even further? And you can take the next step in that evolution and you can talk about meeting people where they are. So our commitment to accessibility, whether that's ramps getting into buildings, whether that's ASL interpreters, whether that's bringing people onto staff that reflect the guests that are coming through that might be visually impaired, to make sure that that history is represented, because there's nothing more powerful than seeing yourself in the past.
So the old Welcome Center, as we knew it, is transforming into the MEC, the Museum Experience Center. And that will have a wide range of new activities. There are going to be brand new exhibits done in a way that's really, really foreign to Conner Prairie. Multimedia, multi-sensory exhibits that help you engage the story of the people and the land and the river and all the things that ties together as humans in one spot. We are going to learn how we're related to each other, how we're kin with one another. If you visited us, you've been through the William Conner house. You might even have an idea of what William Conner looked like. We're going to take a look at the first wives of John and William Conner and why these Lenape women were not really featured in the public record. And we're going to tell that full story a little bit more, which will help us in the future when we're able to, renovate buildings like this that help us tell the Lenape story a little bit better.
As we do this and we do it right and we do it well, I think we'll see other museums that use living history and use museum theater and those types of things. They'll be looking to Conner Prairie and see how we accomplish this, and we'll be able to help our profession do it even better. And that's really exciting for this organization.
History grounds us all together. History helps us understand our past, and if we can understand our past, it helps us understand the present better. And if we can understand the present better, we can imagine a better future. That's what we hope to do at Conner Prairie. Everybody has a place in history. If we can see how we all belong in the same story, the same narrative, we can hope for a better present and plan a better future.